Hi guys, Mark here. Well, today I've got a 2021 Triumph Street Triple 765R to review for you. Stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Let's take a look around this lovely Triumph Street Triple 765R. This is a 2021 model, and this is the low ride height version. So talk about that a bit more in a minute. So these bikes are still really holding their money. I mean, when they were new, they're probably around about £9,500. This one I've just looked this morning would be going for around about between £7,000 and £7,500. It's got 3,000 miles, this model, in really nice condition. Comes with the glorious 765cc triple engine, liquid cooled double overhead cam. It's got an absolutely glorious spread of linear power, and it's got an amazing soundtrack even with the standard exhaust. These engines are putting out a very healthy 116 horsepower at 12,000 RPM, and the torque is equally as good, 77 Newton meters at 9,400 RPM. So this is the low ride height version, but this is a standard seat, and this is 780mm, this bike. So, you know, you may want to consider one of these. I'm not that tall, 5'7", 30-inch inside leg, but I can easily flat foot this with my knees bent. So if you're a bit shorter than me, this would definitely suit you. Just take a quick look at me on the bike as a reference, and then you can compare that for yourself. As I said, I'm 5'7" with a 30-inch inside leg. Fuel tank on this, pretty generous, 17.5 litres. They're quoting 5 litres for 100 kilometres fuel consumption, which equates to around about 55 miles per gallon UK, if ridden sort of sensibly, and that's going to give you well over 150 mile tank range, which is absolutely brilliant. Tyres on these, this is currently running Pirelli Rosso, and it's a 120 front, 180 rear. These are 17-inch wheels. This has an up and down quick shifter, which is super smooth, very smooth shifting gearbox as well, 6-speed. Braking is courtesy of Brembo. M4 3.2 radio monoblocks, which are absolutely awesomely powerful, all you could ever need in braking system. Brembo at the back there as well. We have Showa front and rear fully adjustable suspension, which gives a very, very good sporty ride, but also very compliant and plush as well. Rear shock up in there. Ride-by-wire throttle. Got riding modes: sport, road, rain and user. So whereas this may not be quite as extreme as the RS, it probably, you know, makes for the better road bike, this R model. Now this particular model has got a tail tidy fitted to it. It's got bar risers which bring them up and back a good couple of inches at least, make a nice comfortable position. I believe this is an add-on as well, a little sort of screen there. These have 6,000 mile service intervals, which is decent. But no, really good these bikes are. They're incredibly good fun to ride, and they just make great everyday bikes. Under the rear seat here we have a little tiny bit of storage there, tiny bit. So there we are guys, Triumph Street Triple 765R. Let's try this out then. And Triumph Street Triple 765. I love these bikes, they're so good. So this is obviously the low version, and I'm 5'7", 30-inch inside leg, and my feet are flat to the floor and my knees are slightly bent. So, you know, if you're looking for a really good middleweight bike and you're not that tall, definitely give one of these a look. It's going to fit you absolutely fine. So just run through all the controls here. We've got a cable operated clutch, which is very light and smooth, which is span adjustable there, headlight flasher, info button, indicators, horn, riding mode button. Over this side, span adjustable front brake lever. We have our engine start and stop, and our hazards. So I like on this particular model, you know, you've got the traditional rev counter with all your warning lights there. That's really nice, and a nice little LCD display there showing loads of information. You've got your riding modes, all your different modes: rider, rain, road and sport. Odometers, trip meters, tons of information here, clock, fuel gauge and temperature gauge, and a gear position indicator. That's good. So here we go, let's listen to this lovely soundtrack. So absolutely beautiful sound these triples make, even better when they're on song. So anyway, let's try this out. And we're cut there. So we're out on the open road on the fantastic Triumph Street Triple 765R. Apologies for any wind noise today, it's very windy today. So starting off with the mirrors, good view behind me. I can see a tiny bit of my elbows. On the whole, very clear to look into. Personally myself, I would put some bar end mirrors on this. That would look really nice. So as standard, I'd be leaning forwards a little bit more. This has got bar risers on it, but the riding position is very upright and comfortable. Nice wide bars. The seat's comfortable as well. My legs are up quite a bit in a sporty position. That is the sort of nature of this bike. It is quite a sporty little machine, but on the whole a very comfortable bike to ride. I do like this dash that it's got on this model as opposed to the other models, which are all sort of TFT. I do love the analog tachometer. You know, it's so nice to see it spin up when you open this bike up. And talking about how this bike goes, it absolutely flies, and the sound is amazing when you open it up. So we're just in top gear at the moment, turning over at a leisurely 5,000 revs, 60 mile an hour, but it's if you open it up, it pulls so strongly in top gear. Down to fourth now, and it really shifts, this thing does, and the sound it makes is absolutely glorious. It doesn't feel a heavy bike in the slightest. Once you're up and moving, it's very manoeuvrable. So second gear now, just winding it out. The quick shifter up and down is super smooth. You wouldn't want anything better. It's just 5, 6, 7,000 revs. This thing absolutely flies. Just trying the brakes out, nothing behind. Wow, absolutely crazy power, those Brembo monoblocks. The whole feel of the bike, the smoothness, the way it's put together, fit and finish is absolutely top notch. So we're just doing about 30 miles an hour now, just coming out of town, just checking that fueling, and as you'd expect, absolutely perfect. Very, very smooth at low RPMs. Instant response when you wind it open with that addictive soundtrack. You know, I mean, I know this segment of the bike market is extremely competitive. There's loads of brilliant bikes in this sort of 750, 800 sort of class, but this one is one of the best. It's a 5-star bike through and through. Just the way it brakes, the engine performance, the ride quality, superb. So we just tried the gearbox out now without the quick shifter, just going down, very smooth. We will take it on a dual carriageway in a minute. Just try those brakes out again. Oh, wowee! You're over the top of the bike there. So just show you how flexible this engine is. We're doing a relatively low 4,000 revs, 40 mile an hour, wide open. You can just see how that engine just went from 40 right up there in like just a couple of seconds. Around about 115 horsepower this has got. Over these bumps, the Showa suspension is absolutely sublime. It's just floating over it all. Right, so we're just heading on to a dual carriageway now to see how the good old Street Triple is going to handle the slightly higher speed. So 4th gear, just going to wind it out a bit for that lovely mid-range. Very, very quickly up to 70 miles an hour. I say it's very windy today, so I'm hanging on tight. 70 mile an hour, just a gentle 6,000 RPM, which is nothing for this engine. Super smooth, I can barely feel a thing. I'll just drop it down 2 gears. So 8,000 revs, and all I could feel was just the tiniest little buzz through the pegs, but it's an absolutely beautiful engine this, no nasty vibrations whatsoever. Feels very light but very stable at speed. If I open it up, it just goes right up to probably 140 odd miles an hour or more. There you go guys, the Triumph Street Triple. Very good at the higher speeds, very stable, very sure-footed, super smooth at the higher speed. It is pretty windy being a naked machine, but that's totally what you expect from this sort of thing. But where this bike really excels is like, you know, twisty roads, that sort of thing, where you can really get the best of it. So there you are guys, the Street Triple at the slightly higher speed is absolutely fine, all good there. Going down on the quick shifter there, 4th gear. You know, you can make decent progress on this and you don't even have to rev it. You know, I mean, 60 odd mile an hour now at 5,000 revs, there's no vibrations at all. Down to 5th, down to 4th. Open it up this hill. Lovely stuff. Yeah, they're very, very engaging to ride, these bikes. That addictive growl from the engine, the handling is really lively. So much fun. and we'll just wrap it up here. So first gear, super easy into neutral. Now that's the sound. And that's the standard exhaust. Give you a little look at that dash. Now we'll look at the lights and indicators. And there you have it, guys, the Triumph Street Triple 765R. What a fantastic machine. So I say these are still holding their money. Something like this, three years old, will set you back around about £7,500 still, because they're that good. That's where they hold the money. So the Showa suspension, big piston forks here, absolutely fantastic handling, really good quality ride. Brakes are absolutely eye-popping. The engine is a masterpiece. You know, it's one of the best motorcycle engines in the world. That is superb. Great sound, great power, tons of torque, very flexible. Absolute masterpiece, that engine. Sounds brilliant even with a standard exhaust. I see no need to change that. So I say this, the R is the same, pretty much the same performance as the RS, maybe a few horsepower down, but you don't notice it on the road at all. Same as the newer model that's out, and if anything, it's better for the road. It's a bit more compliant, really. Very comfortable seat. I say this one is the low version, and it's super low. Rear suspension, brilliant. Quick shifter up and down with the blipper, superb. Build quality, all the paintwork, usual Triumph excellence. Decent service intervals on these at 6,000 miles. So yeah, if you're in the market, guys, for a sort of an upper, not a super naked, not 1000cc, but you want to just come down a bit, you know, these are absolutely brilliant. More than enough power for the road, and pretty well priced as well. So guys, please post your comments down below. These are very popular bikes, and give me a like. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll catch you again in a week or so for another review. Ride safe, guys, all the best, and bye for now.